Again, football winning out.
I see dead people.
Those famous words uttered by a little boy in the movie Sixth Sense many years ago rang true for a little boy here in New England named Matt Fraser. He says he was born with a psychic gift passed down from his maternal grandmother. Matt's now 23 years old, and he's in studio with me this morning. Good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning. It's great to be here with you.
So nice to have you. You know, this is certainly something that is very fascinating to so many people. This is something you noticed very early on, that you weren't just a typical little boy, and you say that this gift came from your maternal grandmother.
Absolutely. And for me, you know, it was like living the movie The Sixth Sense growing up. You know, my family always had the ability. I actually started with my grandmother, who passed it on to my mother, and in turn passed it on to me. But you have to remember that back in those days, it wasn't something that people talked about. My grandmother didn't do it professionally, and my mother didn't either. And when I was growing up, you know, just being 3 or 4 years old, I too could see and hear the departed. And just like the movie The Sixth Sense, they'd be coming into my bedroom at night. And it was petrifying for me. I'd be scared, you know, I'd be pulling the covers over my head and, you know, crying. I didn't want to see, I didn't want to connect with them. And it's funny because my mother, instead of just saying, oh, you know, it's okay, you can sleep with me and your dad tonight, she'd be on the side of me going, what are they saying to you? Who is it? Who's coming through? Is it my uncle? Is it, you know, my mother? So she tried to get me to encourage it, but I pushed it away for years and years.
Well, I could see how, of course, that'd be terrifying for a little boy. When you finally did start to say, well, let me listen to what they're saying here, you know, what is that like? Is it a scary thing, or are they coming to you in ways that, you know, that you were able to start thinking, okay, I'm going to pay attention and help other people with this gift?
Absolutely, because the minute that I started to go and embrace what they were telling me, it wasn't scary anymore. Because
like, what were they saying? Like, tell me something they would say to you.
Absolutely. A lot of times it would be people who were newly departed trying to contact their family here in the physical world. Maybe because they didn't get to say goodbye, or maybe because of the fact that they wanted to alleviate some of the grief. And that's what these messages are. I'm so blessed to now be doing live events up and down the country. It's all about, you know, reconnecting people with their loved ones who have passed on.
So the people that would come to you weren't just people that you had lost in your own life. You've got stranger ghosts coming to you.
It started with just, you know, my grandmother who had passed coming back to visit me, and then later on, you know, just a slew of other spirits coming in, you know, because they saw me as an open window to go and pass on messages to their family here in this world.
What an exhausting life you must lead. They're just never leaving you alone. Your door's always being knocked on.
It's like being the operator in heaven is what I say. It's like the phone's always ringing.
I bet. Can you say, no, I don't want to do this right now? Or do they not listen? It's on their time.
They don't listen. It's always on their time. But I'm always here to listen, you know, because I know how important these messages are for people. And, you know, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to speak and help out families who actually have been involved with a lot of high-profile cases, such as the Sandy Hook tragedy. I was able to speak to those parents, you know, people who had lost loved ones in 9/11, that tragedy. And, you know, it's just amazing to see the grief just melt away and the comfort that's given by putting them back in touch with their loved ones that were lost.
And it's comforting to so many, a little unnerving to others. So Matt comes into the studio, he's like, wait a minute, I'm getting things around you. I'm like, wait, I'm trying to do the newscast right now. But that's what happens.
And that's how my world is. It's like that. It just constantly is going. And I actually started I always knew that I wanted to do something with helping people, and I actually started my career as an EMT working for the World Trade Center up in Boston, privately contracted. And then from there, I worked for the Security Operations Department.
You've done a lot at just a very young age. And you've been everywhere. Like, you've been all over the place on all different media channels. Clearly, this is something that, whether people believe it or not, it's definitely a curiosity.
Absolutely, but I mean, the things about these messages that I give, especially at live events, is that people don't want generalities. This isn't general information. You know, I receive names, dates, places, how people have passed, and that's what I'm asking on the other side. It's basically like a conversation in my head. I'm getting quick bits of information on the other side about the person who had passed, who's trying to reach their loved one here in this world, especially if it was something that, you know, was left that was unsaid, like, you know, a mother who had lost their child, or, you know, maybe a father who, you know, they were estranged for years and finally comes through at a live event to let his daughter know, like, that he sees everything that's going on in her life. So they're very important, and it's amazing. It's like a big family reunion at these events. Like, literally what I do is I run up and down the aisles, reconnecting as many people as possible as I can in just a short amount of time. It's a 2-hour event, and I read the whole time I'm there.
And we want to give a little bit more information. First of all, people can go to your website.
Absolutely.
Which is?
It's meetmattfraser.com, and I have a ton of events coming up in the area. I'll be at Foxwoods Resort Casino, and I also have a book that's out called The Secrets to Unlocking Your Psychic Ability that teaches people to really tap into your intuition, because I feel like we all sense and feel our loved ones around us, and they come to us in many different ways, and signs and symbols and things of that nature, and that's what this book kind of talks about.
Interesting. I mean, it really is fascinating. You stick around, because I want to hear what he's feeling around me and who it is and what's going on. Matt, thanks so much. So nice to meet you. Really
Thank you. It was
appreciate
great to be on with you.
All right. Still to come this morning. A new twist in the reality TV drama Real Housewives of New Jersey meets Orange is the New Black. What? It could happen in